Good evening or afternoon or however much. Now, I'm used to saying evening because this is normally a 7 p.m. on a Monday night, but this is a special Sunday version of Punditviews. I'm Jacob Christner, the pundit's pundit himself. And my special guest is someone I've wanted for a bit. I wanted this for a while, but I think this is really good because he's a really busy man. He is from the Inscriber Magazine, and I wish we could be able to see him today, but little camera issues, which we don't. We all have that, right? Robert Cobb. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good, Jacob. Thank you very much for having me on. I'm very flattered. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. I'm just wondering if you have one of those green facial masks from like women or something. That's why you don't show up.
Ouch. No, I'm like stealth, man. You know, I'm like one of those character. I'm like in witness protection. You know, I'm there and I'm not there.
You're ninjas. You're one of the ninjas and stuff. You know.
Yeah, basically.
So tell us a little bit about how you got started with media. I mean, where you're from, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, I began my media journey around 1993 when I was a senior at Cleveland Heights High School. Yes, that is the same high school that Jason and Travis Kelce, Super Bowl champions, Eagles and the Chiefs. That's where they came from. I started as a writer for their school newspaper, the Black and Gold. I was a beat writer covering the hockey team and the soccer team, and I actually used to do some stuff on the PA system. I was known as the Iceman, the voice of Heights hockey and stuff. And you know, I got my feet wet in beat writing, following our hockey team and our soccer team as well. And our hockey team upset our rivals Shaker. We went all the way to the state semifinals, where we lost to Ben Roethlisberger's alma mater, Findlay High in Bowling Green. But at that point, I was already writing, obviously, for the school newspaper at the time. Also branched out and became what's called a stringer, which is a paid contributor for a publication for our area newspaper, the Sun Press. I definitely got to say what really got me going was me growing up as a Browns fan in the 90s and stuff. I was a huge fan of Bernie Kosar, and the story broke about Bill Belichick cutting Kosar, and I'll never forget writing it and stuff. And to me, that's what really got me into sports writing and sports media was that. Bill Belichick saying that Kosar's skills diminished to the point where he couldn't play football no more, and obviously Kosar landed in Dallas and helped back up Troy Aikman and win a Super Bowl. So he must have still had some skill too. So.
Well, either way, but here's the thing: for anybody that doesn't know, you're one of my first. You're one of my first guests that's really been in the journalism world. So let them know what a beat writer is.
A beat writer is a writer that is assigned to a specific team or a specific angle of a story. Mainly, beat writers follow the team everywhere they go, from city to city, place to place. They become ingrained with the team. They know everything about the team forward and backwards, like the front office, the media, the public relations department, the players. Their job is to help provide and produce accurate information on what is happening with the team every day and follow their daily whereabouts.
Now, this is a little different. I was going to ask you this because you've been around Cleveland. This is your whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We've just brought up, I've got two quarterbacks. I'm just saying, we've had two quarterbacks in this time. They're now in Pittsburgh, or were in Pittsburgh. Now we're from Ohio, which is Ben Roethlisberger and Mr. Ohio, Mr. himself, Mr. Mitchell Trubisky. Now, here's the question about this. I'm just asking this. Maybe you know the city. Maybe you know anything. You don't hear many Steelers going over to the Browns. What is it? Is there an issue with the team by itself? Is there a thing? Is it a true rivalry? How does this go?
Well, I'm going to paraphrase a really great article that was published on Bleacher Report years ago. And I used to be a feature columnist for the Cleveland Browns at Bleacher Report. Sadly, the rivalry is only in name only because since Ben Roethlisberger was passed over by the Browns, who decided to take a certain I'm a soldier tight end by the name of Kellen Winslow II.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger haunted the Browns to the point of going 26-2 against the Browns his whole career. No, 24-2-1. But the rivalry is mainly.
I'm proud of that one.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, mainly though, the rivalry, the so-called rivalry, as I call it now, because everybody knows that the real Browns are in Baltimore. That's another story for another day. But the rivalry is mainly between the fan bases and stuff, because I will give Pittsburgh credit for this, is that when the original Browns left for Baltimore, Pittsburgh along with Buffalo were the only two teams that voted against Art Modell moving the team out of Cleveland. And for that, I have a special respect and admiration for both those franchises. But in terms of the rivalry, it's got to be a rivalry when both teams win equally or stop the other from doing something. And seeing the Ravens Steelers rivalry just brings it back to the old Browns rivalry games of the 90s and stuff. Like, one of my fondest memories was when Eric Metcalf had those 2 touchdown returns on the Steelers on that Monday night game years ago. I mean, but other than that, Cleveland's success against Pittsburgh has been very few and far between for it to be a rivalry. Now, the two cities, because I lived in both, sadly, there's an inferiority complex when it comes to Cleveland versus Pittsburgh, because Cleveland always has serious abandonment issues and like just inferiority complex when it comes to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh has had the upper hand in the rivalry pretty much since around the turn of the 21st century now. And obviously, when they took Ben Roethlisberger, and they passed on him, which was their mistake, the Browns' mistake. It's just another sad example of how scrambled and how dysfunctional Cleveland sports is, and how the Browns front office is just, there's no structure, there's no philosophy. Like, here's an example right here.
Sure.
The Steelers have had 3 head coaches since 1969, right? Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, who used to play for the Browns, special teams and stuff. I remember watching him play. I remember that. And Mike Tomlin. 3 head coaches in like almost 50, 60 years. The Browns have gone through maybe 13 in the last 20 years almost. So there's a lack of stability. There's a lack of culture. There's a lack of how things are done. Like, one thing I've always admired about the Steelers franchise and front office, they have a solid set philosophy of how they draft. They usually build offensive line, defensive line, linebacker. Then they get the quarterback. Browns, they just try to reach and grab for straws and stuff. They want to do things their way or do it the Cleveland way because they want to be different. They want to think outside the box, which in theory sounds cool and cute and stuff, but at the end of the day, it bites them in the ass. I'm sorry, language.
No, you're good. No. See, I'm a Bears fan, and as much as people wouldn't think I would, because I attack those fans, I attach those fans to the wall all the time. But the thing is, I've been a Bears fan since '84. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing with this. I grew up in '84. Yes, I was 6 years old. Yes, I was very, very well aware. I had very good. I could absorb anything even at that age. And the biggest thing about it is watching when I saw the Bears, they were dominating the Packers, 84-93, absolute domination, 2 losses, total, 3 losses total. And the biggest thing is the Bears and Packers are not a rivalry anymore. I can agree with you on that thing because it's been 30 years. And it's been 30 years, and that's a frustration. And it's like, people wonder, you heard me myself. I wanted, at the beginning of the season, I was hoping and praying that he'd be gone, Tomlin be gone so the Bears can get him. But I just that's what I want. That's what Green Bay is, though. They've got that consistency. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they have the consistency, and people wonder why I'm so bad on, like I said, I have no issue with Justin Fields by himself. I just have the issue is I don't think it's going to work out based off the fact that they put him in the wrong situation right off the spot and just to rush it in so they could we got to get rid of Trubisky's records or whatever, which he could have sat a year and forget about that. Yeah,
and it's funny that we're talking about Mitchell Trubisky because he's from this area too. He's from
Mr. Ohio.
Yeah, it's from Mentor, right to the east. That's one of Heights' rivals in football. Mm-hmm. Our main rival is Shaker, but screw them.
The first time I ever heard of Shaker Heights was that movie that you've seen from. It was from Ben Affleck and Matt Damon who were getting these, and they were doing a thing on the indie. It was on that indie network.
Yeah. You're probably thinking. Well, there's also the old 80s movie. Well, you remember the old '80s movie, Heathers? That was set in Shaker Heights too.
Right. Yes.
Also, other notable alum while we're talking about that school is Molly Shannon from Saturday Night Live. She's from Shaker. Machine Gun Kelly, he's from
Uh-huh.
Shaker. Kid Cudi, he's from Shaker. Well, Bone Thugs and Harmony, they're from down the way in East Cleveland, but we don't care about them that much either.
I'm from Quincy, Illinois. The only one that we could say is Tad Hilgenbrink, who was on one of the American Pie movies that went straight to video.
Exactly, yes. Also, Paul
We
Newman.
don't get the big ones, you know.
Hey, also, I forgot to mention Paul Newman. He's from Shaker Heights too. So
Right. Oh yeah, no, Paul Newman's awesome.
oh yeah, Paul Newman's awesome. Yeah,
But no,
yeah.
the big thing. Okay, we were just having a little fun with that now. And I wanted to say this: is like you got yourself into journalism, and where you've got Inscriber Magazine. But tell us your story, how you got it all started, what you were doing.
Okay, all right. Well, at the time, I had just finished my contract with Bleacher Report as a featured columnist. I was kind of doing some freelance work for a while. After that, I landed with a company that's now defunct called Rant Media Sports and whatever. I was where I would start off as a contributor, then an editor, then ultimately I was promoted to NBA Network Manager of their NBA section. And there was some stuff going on behind the scenes, and ultimately my contract was not renewed, and I was let go for reasons which I still don't even know about today. So anyway, I had some time to take a break and take a moment to think. And I thought to myself, you know what, it'd be cool to start my own publication, my own magazine, because I grew up reading Maxim, FHM, Playboy. I also read Cosmo, LW, a lot of fashion, a lot of different types of media and stuff. So I figured, you know what? Why not blend and combine those two elements of sports, fashion, lifestyle, entertainment into an online platform? And so it was around December of 2012. I decided to launch the Inscriber as it is, and a lot of writers didn't like the way I was let go from Rant, and a lot of them followed me over, and it's just been a tremendous ride ever since. And been doing it for 11 years now. This has been incredible, but I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of editing, a lot of managing the site, managing, the content that goes up, the editing, obviously, keeping the site going, talking to and interviewing new prospective writers, but also just building and maintaining the brand, because you got all these other publications out there now, who are trying to do stuff similar to what we've done. But at the same time, what I feel is what separated us is that we've stuck to our original core vision over the last 11 years, haven't deviated once, haven't renamed ourselves, haven't done XYZ. We've stayed exactly who we are, and I'm proud of that, because you need that stability, i.e. like the Pittsburgh Steelers, for example.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's been the biggest honor of my life to do that.
Well, and really, and you've done. See, and the thing is, I'm always happy because I'm happy to be part of Inscriber. I'm part time, very part time, because I got to keep my busyness going. But I am published with Inscriber, about 7 or 8 of my columns. So just a little bit of promotion on there. But the biggest thing is, so who's your biggest interview yet for the magazine?
Ooh, that's a toughie. Biggest interview. Okay. Are you a fan of you watch Amazon Prime, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you ever watch the show The Marvelous Miss Maisel?
I have not seen it, but I keep hearing how awesome it is.
All right, you know the lead actress Rachel Brosnahan?
Yes.
I interviewed her back in 20. I'm trying to think. It was right when she was doing House of Cards and The Blacklist. So it was around 2012, 2013-ish or something. That was maybe my biggest interview. This is before she got really big and stuff. And also, she is a Bears fan too.
I can bet, because Seth Rollins, the wrestler, is a Bears fan. Ashton Kutcher's a Bears fan.
Yeah, she's from your neck of the woods, and she is so sweet. The interview was set up and done via her manager. I'm not sure if she's still with her now. Carolyn Debo, great woman. Rachel was such a sweetheart, answered all the questions and stuff, and I couldn't be happy for her success. And it's such an honor to say I had a chance to interview her before she got really big, and just truly just blown up as an actress because when she was in House of Cards, she played a call girl prostitute whose name was also Rachel.
Oh, I know. I was a House of Cards fan before they made it ridiculous in the final year. But
Yep.
no. But I know about that for sure. I mean, but the biggest thing about it is the fact that, and by that, you were saying about my neck of the woods. I'm a Bears fan and Cubs fan, but I'm from Quincy, Illinois, which is near St. Louis.
Yeah, right near St. Louis. Yeah, I remember when I did a first.
She's from St. Louis.
She's not from St. Louis. No, she's from I think it's right across the border in Wisconsin, actually.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And well, yeah, I'm Midwest. You're right. It's
good Midwestern girl. And I got to say this: how is it that you're a Cubs fan, but you're right across the river from St. Louis? Because I remember
that's a story. It's like I don't know either because I used to watch baseball with my grandpa when I was about 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. We'd stay there watching everything, and I just became a Cubs fan. And they could have been either way because Cubs and Cardinals are 50-50 in that little town, about 40,000 people. Could have gone either way. And I used to like Mike LaValliere and Andy Van Slyke and them, but I just chose the Cubs in the end. But this is the thing. I've never, ever hated. I mean, when you're a fan and you're a kid, of course you quote unquote hate. But older I get, I don't hate teams like other adults do and do all that. I don't do that. It's for one thing, the Cardinals and Green Bay, and you brought up Pittsburgh, I guess Cleveland. I want that stability in my team. So why would I hate what I want?
Exactly. Yeah. No. Exactly. And that's the thing about the ingrained inferiority complex when it comes to Browns fans versus the Steelers is because Browns fans talk so much smack about how much the Steelers are this and that. But I'm like, you want to be just like them. You want to have that stability. You want to have a competent front office. You want to have stable ownership. You want to have all that. I mean, the Browns have gone through, since coming back to the league in 99, they've gone through 2 owners. They've gone through, this is just off the top of my head, about 5 head coaches, 6 general managers since coming back to the league in 1999. Steelers, same philosophy. You can always count on them. You can always count on them to have good, solid picks, not the flashy ones. Like the Browns reached for Johnny Manziel. We all know that. We could have passed on Braylon Edwards. Like there are so many players the Browns could have taken, but they chose not to because they want to do things their way because they're so stubborn and they're worried about who Pittsburgh's going to draft. They sometimes overreact and overreach just to do it. I'm like, Jesus, man.
Well, what I want to say with Cleveland is if I was to have a chance to, if I ever had a chance to run the team, I'd want to go with where the Bears are going to be going. A lot of Bears fans are mad about it, which I'm very happy. They're going to go for a dome soon. And personally, this is the thing what I was talking about with dome. It's the fact that everybody's looking at that old tradition, the old Jim Brown, the old Walter Payton, the old Dick Butkus, that kind of thing. Here's the thing. I love it. I had an older dad. I had a tough guy older dad. I get it. But he would have been 95 this year if he was alive, okay? He was 50 when I was born.
Gotcha.
See, he would have been 95, and even he knew when he was around that it wasn't his anymore. And he always looked forward to what's the next thing and what's going on in life. He always did. And the one thing I'm always trying to say to the world is why you've seen me 1,000 times. I attack fans all the time. And the reason is you get the thing is you have tradition. That you have tradition and you want this. Oh, we wouldn't. They're wimpy if they want to go inside. Here's the thing: we can play wimp all we want to, but how do we know the Big Ten will ever have a chance when there's an NIL time? Like, who wants to go to Iowa in the middle of December?
Exactly.
Who wants to go to Iowa in the middle of December? How much we're going to probably see a bunch of Carrier Dome, a bunch of different things like that, like they had in New York and Syracuse. We're probably going to have a bunch of those in Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, all those in the next 10, 15 years.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember, just to go off of what you just said there, I remember on a recent trip to New York City I went to, which I went through the Greyhound, and we went through Syracuse, had a chance to see Syracuse. Beautiful city, very picturesque. Got a chance to go right by the Carrier Dome. That thing is big. But when you think about it, they need to play in a dome for a reason because it's freaking cold up in Syracuse, especially like you want to play in 5-foot-high snow in December and January. I mean, Buffalo, good luck with that. I mean, that's why I'm glad the Bills, in their new stadium, which looks almost like looks like they hired the same architects that designed Tottenham Stadium over in London, which, by the way, they're going to be getting the Jaguars over there in about another 5-10 years.
Oh, I think earlier than that, probably 3.
Oh
Personally,
yeah, easily, because Jacksonville is a money suck right now. Plus, they're in the wrong region to be to have an NFL team by themselves. Because you got Atlanta, you got Tampa, you got Miami, you got Carolina up the road. So yeah, get them out of Jacksonville. Just move them to London already. Because the NFL has been the reason why they've been having all these international games is that they're slowly testing the market to see how well an NFL team in London would do. And based on how it's looking, yeah, they're ready to move a team now. They're probably, it was surprising me that Shahid Khan's already getting like pressure from the commissioner to be like, look, we built the stadium over there for you. You already own Fulham. Just move the Jaguars over there. Plus the fact, can you imagine a London Super Bowl at Wembley? Holy cow.
No question. And it's like, this is what the traditional quote unquote fans, you want to know what that snow is like for the players. The snow look and the cold look. It's great for television. And you want to know what most of the people are doing in the whole world, watching it from television in their nice warm room.
It's exactly, yes. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Tradition is nice up to a point, but when you're freezing your butt off and you got hypothermia, and you also got the players out there that are out there on the field banging heads or whatever, and other stuff like that. Tradition needs to evolve. That's the thing, though. We're so stuck on this whole, romantic, notion of the Ice Bowl or the snow game or one of my all-time favorite Browns games, Browns versus the Oilers. I think it was like in 92, 93. And this is also kind of, not say it led me into photography, but it left an image in my head that I still can't get out. It's called The Audible. It's the Browns versus the Oilers. There's snow flurries around the stadium, and there's this perfect freeze frame shot of Bernie Kosar calling an audible. He had the snow going right through his helmet and stuff, like right in front of him, swirling around. I'm getting chills right now talking about it. It's that beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So you're talking about like domes in Iowa and stuff. Let's look about this in the Big Ten. You also have 2 West Coast teams coming in too, in USC and UCLA. I think they're going to feel traveling all the way into Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania in December and November. I mean, that's going to be a major culture shock.
Well, that will ruin. You got to realize that's going to ruin a lot of USC and UCLA playoff bids, because I don't care if you got to realize teams like Iowa, they win by defense. Yeah. They don't. There's not. I mean, they go to. We got to remember USC, UCLA goes to Colorado. They go to Montana. Which here's the thing: they don't go to Montana in December. You get my point. They go when everything's clear, and all of a sudden you'll be going in the middle of November to December, and it's the Midwest, and it's already very bitter.
Yeah, and they travel up to Oregon. Well, they did travel up to Oregon either early in the season. I mean, I know they're scheduling. They have a way of scheduling it so that way they avoid cold weather. They can't do that in the Big Ten. And I tell you what, those SoCal boys are going to be in for a culture shock coming to East and into the Midwest. Like, they're going to be like, whoa, like, what the hell did we sign up for? Oh, yeah, that's right, that $110 million check from the Big Ten. Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, when I heard the announcement of USC and UCLA coming to the Big Ten, I'm like, are you serious? Like, I didn't even know that was on the table, but hearing about it, then seeing about how much little money the Pac-12 is making, like, they're barely getting by. Like, USC and UCLA were basically the main breadwinners. Like, they were bringing in all the money and stuff, kind of like Texas and the Big 12 and stuff. And it's just like, you know what? We're just going to go elsewhere and stuff, because they got tired of supporting the rest of a conference that's pretty much failing. Like, wow.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it's like, it looks like we're getting ourselves some people watching. I'm happy to see that.
Good.
No, here's the thing. Now that I could talk to you all day, Brad. They've been awesome, but I know we're getting short. I wanted to say this. I wanted to ask this. What do you see as your future of Inscriber? What do you want to take Inscriber?
The next phases of the Inscriber, obviously, is to build and focus more on podcasts and video content, as well as incorporate the awesome photography I do anyways. But I definitely want to stick to our core of producing great quality work. I like to see us eventually expand to the level where Bleacher Report is now, where SB Nation is, and possibly partner with some really big brands to definitely help keep us going, because we are a medium-sized independent media outlet and stuff, and we will always be that. We're basically kind of like the Notre Dame of media in terms of like just being independent, and also like, you know, we're always open to amazing partnerships.
So, you're like Notre Dame, so you're looking back to 1936.
Hey, we got some awards too, but anyway, I do want to say this though. I do want to give a shout out to our partners at Sideline Sports as well. JB Ellis, thank you very much, and also our other partners at Troy, Gary, and Stevens. Shout out to Troy, Gary, Will Stein, of course. Everything has just been so great. The partnership that we have has just been phenomenal. I definitely see a tri-empire of us three definitely just taking over media in the next 3-4 years, if not sooner. And I'm so glad that we're all working in unison towards the same goal.
Oh, absolutely. And Troy's been on my show also, so he's been on here too. So that's pretty cool. And he got me. I'm going to be going to the Sugarloaf, TBC Sugarloaf tomorrow for the Austin Riley, the inaugural charity event.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
Yes. I'll be at the red carpet. I'll be interviewing a few people. I've already met Marquise Grissom and Kevin Butler before, so hopefully I'll go to them first, get an idea, get it running. Okay,
cool. And I'll be down in Miami covering and photographing Miami Swim Week party. So down in Miami, 2 shows. One is Lane Snow. Another one is 1-1. They're both very reputable swimwear brands. And
that's the only snow you'll see in Miami.
No comment about the other snow that's prevalent in Miami, but it's gonna be a good time though. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. 3:05, here I come.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, do you live in Miami right now? Where do you live?
No, I live in Cleveland. I live in the area of Cleveland.
So are you looking to move to Miami?
Well, actually, that's an interesting topic. Is that I'm not looking to move to Miami, but I'm probably looking to spend more time in Miami in the future. But probably in the next 4 or 5 years, I will be relocating to Florida.
Trust me, I understand that. No, trust me on this part. I think of the show when I was a kid, Jake and the Fat Man. They went to Hawaii a couple years, and I'm like, that made me love that show. Besides the fact that it was an awesome show, But it's like it makes us want to go to things. It's like Magnum PI,
I know. What's funny, I just stumbled upon the song by Pitbull and Lil Jon called Damn, I Love Miami. It's perfect. Like, it pretty much describes it perfectly. It's from the Bad Boy soundtrack. You should check it out.
Oh, I definitely will. Well, Robert, I wish we would have had 50 more hours. This was a great conversation.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm glad to come back on anytime. We can do a part 2 if you want. All right?
Yeah, definitely. When we get ourselves the time, let's see if we can fix up the thing, and we'll make sure you're not in witness protection anymore, so you can see.
Sounds good, man. It's been a pleasure. Robert Cobb from Inscriber Magazine.
And hey, hold on really quickly. Hey, Denzel, come on real quick. Denzel, it's like, just to let you know real fast, Robert is with Inscriber Magazine. Mm-hmm. So if you do any writing, you do anything, and he wanted to be able to get that stuff, get with him and stuff like that. But he can get you, if you want to do some more things, like with media.
Okay.
We're working with Inscriber, so with Sideline. So just talk to him. You guys can get hooked up.
Cool. Sounds good. All right,
you cool with Robert? You cool with that, Robert?
I'm perfectly fine with that. I love to work with you, Denzel.
Yep, no problem. You guys, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later, Robert.
All right, take care, brother.
You bet. Well, and thank you for watching Punditviews. This is a special Sunday edition, and we will have a great night. We'll see you probably next Monday again. I got a new special guest. Take care.